Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to 1 Million Cups Westminster. I'm Graham Dodge, Executive Director of Magic, which is where we are all located today. I'm just going to go through the slide deck for 1MC, and for those who are the uninitiated, explain what 1 Million Cups is all about. So 1 Million Cups mission is all about lowering the barrier for access to education, resources, and opportunities and connections for entrepreneurs. Without the pillars of the program, this mission does not get accomplished. And those pillars are, this is all about presentations and not pitches. It's about connection, not networking. Come on in. The culture is to be for the community, by the community. Nobody has ownership of 1 Million Cups Westminster. No one's being paid to do 1 Million Cups Westminster, and we are radically and intentionally inclusive. Our core program design is that we meet every week, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. 2 presenters when possible. Today we have 1 presenter, and then that means we have opportunities for community updates for the rest of you. We ask that presenters' organizations be less than 5 years old. We do make exceptions when someone is a more established business and they're launching a brand new initiative that they need help with. And then we always end with the question, what can we as a community do to help you? This is the organizing team, myself, Graham Dodge, Chris Abel from the Carroll Technology Innovation Council, Vicki Slinkman from Ting, Jonathan Wheatman, attorney at law, Tina Thomas from Infinite Love Project, Julia Snap from Dirigible Systems, and Gabby Rose, also from Magic. I also want to thank Jeannie Bird Baking Company for providing the baked goods in the back here, and we also want to thank American Ice Cafe for the go-go juice. And also to Start a Portal for being our alternate location for 1 Million Cups. So without further ado, I will introduce our speaker, Toyne, who's traveled all the way from Owings Mills this morning to be with us today. So let's give her a nice warm 1MC welcome.
Thank you guys for having me this morning. I'm really happy to be here and to talk to you about my organization. I haven't presented this particular deck before, so bear with me as I'm doing so, and this is an opportunity to get your feedback as a group. So my name is Toyne Adishemola. I am, a communication specialist from 9 to 5, and from 6 to 11 or whenever I sleep. I am one of the founders of Kamoky, a platform designed to connect folks with local ethnic minority businesses. A little backstory about me. I am originally from Nigeria, and I grew up here in the United States. Came here when I was very little. My family, everybody, we've been here all our lives. Went to University of Baltimore, graduated from Hopkins a few years ago as well. So I actually haven't been to Westminster that many times, so I'm really happy to be in this neighborhood and to see that there's a little nice quiet town just 20 minutes from me. So I'm happy to be here today. It's not that. Yeah. It's not that quiet. Okay. Maybe after this I'll go around and check out let me know where it's going on though. Did you guys know that the United States is home to more than 45 million immigrants? Did you guys know that? No? Okay. When I was growing up in elementary school, we used to sing all the songs, this land is your land, this land is my land, And I grew up knowing the U.S. as a melting pot. Almost everybody comes from somewhere, whether by heritage or your great-grandfather is German, or everybody comes from somewhere. So I think we all have that connection somehow. Here in Baltimore, one of the city's greatest strengths is in its diverse community and population. I don't know if you guys have been to Baltimore City, downtown, but some of the popular items that we use came from immigrants and immigrant entrepreneurs. So Old Bay, the famous burger cookies, I don't like them, but yeah, I don't know, it's just
it's an acquired taste.
Yeah, it's like chocolate chalk.
Yes, the ratio is.
But you guys do know them, and yeah. So, but Baltimore's ethnic entrepreneurs gave us some of these popular items. I mean, many of us know some of the popular songs too came from immigrant minority groups. Here's my friend Neha. you guys know this is Caitlin, but she is from a immigrant background, and one of the things that we do at Kamoky is connect people to local ethnic minority businesses. So I'm going to tell the story through her lens. So she's my friend, and a few years ago she wanted to get married, and we sat together, looked around, and she couldn't find an Indian wedding planner. And she needed an Indian wedding planner, but because, as you guys know, Indian weddings are extravagant, over the top. So only an Indian wedding planner can bring that to life, give her the 5-day wedding extravaganza. And we looked around, searched around, we couldn't find somebody to give her that wedding planning experience. So that was a problem. Finding ethnic businesses and service providers can be challenging. How many of you guys, before you started coming here regularly, how many of you guys searched for this place via Google? Or like, even if you have to go somewhere from this place today and you don't know the address, you're gonna search for that place, basically. So for ethnic minorities, many of them come here, they get integrated, and basic things like finding food, wedding planners, things that they need for their culture, it's very difficult to find, because even if you go on your Googles or Yelps, they're there, but you don't know if you're getting the authentic thing. So it's time consuming and challenging to find what current solutions look like. So I, as a Nigerian, if I wanted a Nigerian therapist and I go to Google, it's bringing up Relationship Counseling Center of Maryland. That's not a relationship, that's not a Nigerian therapist. It's bringing African American marriage counseling. That's not, again, a Nigerian counselor. If I wanted to find an Indian wedding planner, me and my friend, we searched. It shows Chutney Indian restaurant. That's not a wedding planner. So we discovered there was a huge problem when we created this app that we needed to address. We needed to find products and services that align with certain cultures and ethnic groups. And this is another slide that shows what the current problems were. So here, we developed Kamoky as a group. So Kamoky is a platform that allows you to find and connect with nearby ethnic businesses. So now I'm here I am in Westminster. If I wanted to go buy some, let's see, palm oil, which is a special oil we use in Nigeria to fry certain things. And I said, oh, where can I get that in Westminster? I need to stop quickly because by 11 I have a meeting. So if I could do that in Westminster, specifically, it'll work out for me. I can't find that. So we developed this app to help people do that thing. Just basically find nearby products and services. So for the businesses, Kamoky is a tool to drive growth. You guys, I believe you guys in the room are entrepreneurs, right? How many of you spend hundreds or thousands of dollars every year every quarter on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere? You put out ads. You put out ads on these platforms, and they say, 20,000 people viewed your ad, but then only one person bought your product. That's a problem because you're spending all this money and you're not getting in front of customers that need your product. So on the business side, we are bringing folks that are whose spending habits align with their cultures and values, who actually need their products, to one platform, and that's what Kamoky is. So with the product, you can actually discover local minority ethnic businesses. You can leave reviews. Basically, we're talking about a Yelp, basically, for ethnic minority communities, just in case you guys, in case I'm not explaining this well, we're talking about like a Yelp. And we have a forum on the app where you can actually chat and connect with your community. And then coming soon, we're doing bookings and reservations. We're doing appointment scheduling. It's like if you wanted a doctor, for example, for some reason, and you want to schedule an appointment with that doctor, you'll be able to do so on the platform very soon. What are we talking about here, guys? This is a huge opportunity. 93% of customers use the internet to find local businesses. Like we just said, if you guys need anything and you need to search, you use Google to find out where you're going. You use Yelp to search for restaurants. Maybe you want to take your wife or your husband on a date night, like, oh, let's try somewhere different. You use the internet to find these places. And in the Baltimore metro area alone, immigrant households have an estimated $7.7 billion spending power. So we're talking about a need, and we're talking about a group that has that need, that has the spending power for that need. And for us at Kamoky, we're only going after the $1.8 billion market. So we're not stingy. We're just taking a huge portion of that market. How do we make money? Ads. Like I said, if I'm a business and I'm looking for specific folks to buy my products, like I don't want to be putting myself out there everywhere because I'm like a needle in a haystack on Facebook, on Instagram. Like nobody's gonna find my business, even though I'm spending hundreds of dollars every month to get myself out there. So I want to go to the platforms that will showcase me and showcase me appropriately. So how we make money is ads, data, licensing data, transaction revenue, subscription revenue. The app is completely free for businesses to come on, but once they do start joining the app, there are subscription models they can subscribe to and really advance their businesses, whether it's through community meetings, and we have different tiers as far as our subscription model. So these are some of the ways we make money on Kamoky. Competition, we have a niche market, whereas Facebook, Yelp, Instagram, they focus on everybody. We have a unique niche market to focus on the immigrant minority community because they are the underserved. They are the ones that need really that visibility and the boost across the U.S., across the nations, across the ecosystem. And let me tell you guys a little bit about myself. I've done several businesses since I was 15. And a few weeks ago, I was on Twitter reading and listening to one of these thought leaders, and they said serial entrepreneurs are just people that don't have any focus. So, so now I'm like, I shouldn't tell anybody I'm a serial because I have no focus in life. But basically, when I started my businesses, I've done different kinds of businesses, sold things, and having those businesses have really helped me lift myself out of, I wouldn't say abject poverty because I was poor when we were growing up in Nigeria, but when I came to the U.S., I watched my parents work, Burger King, nursing homes, anything my dad could do, he would go out walking in the streets. We didn't have a car when we first came to America. So my parents would walk us to school, in Owings Mills, and then go look for any jobs they could get. So, they raised us with love and no poverty, but as I grew older, I was able to lift myself and do different things, anything I wanted, because of those extra side gigs and everything I undertook was to help myself and do whatever I want. So we've seen as entrepreneurs the freedom and ability to do whatever you want with your extra income. And that's one of the benefits of being an entrepreneur, the flexibility, the independence, the freedom. And I think that's something that's been of value for me. And for my community, I really want ethnic minority businesses to succeed because they are lifting themselves out of poverty and lifting their communities out of poverty. So we are part of the 2023-2022 Social Innovation Lab cohort. Actually, next week we will be graduating. They don't call it graduation, but next week will be our final showcase where we'll present in front of a group of audiences and potential investors. But next week is our last week. If you want to come out and support, please let me know. I'll tell you where we'll be. But basically, why are we doing this? So minorities start more than 25% of all businesses in 7 of the 8 sectors that the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics expects to grow, which means that almost this whole strip, everywhere you go, you will find an ethnic minority business. For every one micro business, for 100 people in the community, 2 new jobs are created. So people are creating jobs. Even your local coffee shop, the employees there are jobs for them. And for every additional micro business founded, the median household income rises by $195 over a 1-year period. So that's an increase for every household or every family that has that income. So ethnic minority communities, they're creating jobs, they're reducing poverty, they're strengthening their communities, and also expanding and causing wealth generation. And I don't know if many of you know, a lot of folks that come from different countries, they contribute back home to their GDPs. A lot of us have grandpas, grandmas, sisters, nephews, and in a lot of our countries, things are so bad that many people live on less than $1 a day. So they lean on folks that are in established countries to kind of survive in a way. So we're on a mission to do that. We're on a mission to improve economic outcomes for ethnic minority communities by increasing the visibility of ethnic businesses. So basically the summary of my speech here is that support ethnic minority businesses. We are currently on the App Store. You can find us whether you are on Google or iPhone, I guess Apple, yeah, Apple or Android. They usually say Apple or Android,
Yes.
but Google owns Android, right?
Right,
So,
yes.
yeah. So you can find us on the App Store, Kamoky, and we haven't launched to the public because we're trying to add some key features there. But basically, I'm here to tell you guys to support, I think, minority businesses. What I'm here to really do is to leverage you guys' connection, tell you about what we do, ask you that if you know local ethnic minority businesses, send them to us so we can register them on the platform to get the visibility they need. The app is completely free, like we're not charging anything. We just want to pull them, get them in front of the users. And also on the user side, get the users the products and services they need and looking for. And also, like, this is not a immigrant app or ethnic app. Like, if you're an American, I would use that word American largely because I strongly believe we all come from somewhere. But if you're American, I'll use that American right here. If you want to find Mexican food or good tamales one day, or if you want to, find ethnic wear for some reason, it's an app for you as well. Like if you want to find authentic goods and services from ethnic minority businesses, that platform is for you too, and not just an immigrant app. So that's what I would like to say. If you know any ethnic minority business, please send them our way. My email address is here. We are looking to create a form where folks can just sign up until we finish the registration section of the app and website. But for now, if you send them to me, we'll get them registered on the platform. So I want to thank you guys for your time this morning.
Oh, you stay right there.
Stay right there.
All right, thanks, Time.
My big question is, does Kamoky mean something specific?
It doesn't.
It doesn't? It just sounds good.
It sounds yeah.
It's catchy.
Thank you. That took a lot of time. I think it took like a year just to come up with that name. And we looked for different names that meant community, and we just couldn't find. Everything is taken on GoDaddy.
Oh, yeah.
Like you guys know, right? So Kamoky sounded good, and also almost community with a K, but it doesn't mean anything.
Are you sure it doesn't mean anything?
I think I did some research, and I think there are some countries that have a Kamoky restaurant or something.
Oh, okay.
It means something in other places.
Yeah,
not.
Well, that's actually a very clever name then.
Thank you.
It sounds like it means something.
I know. Well, and you can make up your own definition. Hey,
Thank you.
And you got
there's
the
no
.com.
Yeah, and you got the .com.
Any other questions? Yes, Chris.
You had mentioned the parallel to Yelp, right? Will Kamoky have a rating system where people can review and rate places?
Yes. So right now on the app, you can currently review and rate businesses. So we have a 5-star rating. We're also looking to figure out if we can have some kind of ambassadorial type folks that kind of authenticate some of the products and services, because one of the key things I keep getting asked is, why would I go on your platform versus a Yelp? And we kind of are trying to drum in the value of this kind of platform for the authenticity of products and services from minority groups. So we're trying to leverage and really determine what that looks like, but leverage like our ambassadorial type of experts in those, I guess, categories. But yes, currently you can review and rate businesses, and you can share and talk about businesses on the forum.
So cool. And then one quick follow-up. When you mentioned the palm oil earlier, can you put a product in, or would you have to put Nigerian grocery?
You can put in products. You can put
cool.
in. Yeah, thank you. You can put in. You can put in products. You can put in Nigerian grocery. I don't know if you guys know Trader Joe's.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the plantain chips they make are used with palm oil. So even a lot of the foods that you eat now or you see at stores, like a lot of them have ethnic backgrounds and heritage, but stores like Trader Joe's, they work with distributors and really package it as their own, but really a lot of them have a underlying ethnic history or background. So yeah.
Very cool.
Is there a fear of putting in like Weiss sells palm oil or something like that? Is there fear that like putting in too many box stores that sell these products would dilute the immigrant style stores, or like?
You mean on the app or?
On the app. Like if you search a product and say there's 10 small businesses that sell the product, but there's 50 box stores that just happen to sell it, I mean, does that dilute kind of you pushing the small business, pushing the immigrant?
Well, yeah, I guess that's a really good question. I would say no because unfortunately there are not a lot of, I guess this is bad too for my market size, but in every state there are not hundreds of thousands of minority businesses, and the ones that there are, everyone is doing something different. Like for example, in Randallstown, there are like 5 Nigerian grocery stores in one, like literally 2 lights from each other, and I was like, why would they do that? But I think each of them offers their own unique value for the customers, and they are there. So in those kinds of cases, like this is an app, and we're trying to make money. So whoever wants the visibility will pay to get themselves up at a higher level. But I think that in most states, in most cases, like businesses and categories are so dispersed and different that I think everybody can have a piece of the pie in a sense for now. And the growth, the hope is that we can grow businesses. A lot of, I think, minority businesses are operating like under the table kind of in a sense also, because caterers, for example, a lot of them are great cooks, but they can't afford a shop or a storefront. So, but if you ask folks in the community, they want the food from that type of caterer because they value its authenticity. So even we are spotlighting those businesses that may not even want a spot on Yelp or Google because they are under the radar. Don't tell anybody that, but that's I think that's one of our selling points. I think that's what makes us great. But how to regulate it and make it proper and like I don't know like using the right words, but governance.
Well, I think what Vincent's asking though is that if like Target or Walmart is selling palm oil, are you going to be inclusive of those big box stores when you're presenting results back, or is it just a curated registry of the ethnic minority-owned businesses?
Just
Right. So the big box stores won't even be in the
There
directory.
wouldn't be,
Okay.
yes, and that's why Trader Joe's and all these stores they
Because
kind of
it's hard to buy all the market share of your advertising
Yes.
and promotion and just.
Right.
But also,
Yeah.
You'd make money, you'd make crap load of money, but it
Yeah.
would completely.
take
It's
that out.
not
Yes.
just about discovery
Yeah.
of ethnic foods and
Yeah.
goods. It's also
that's why I
the
was
support
curious.
of the ethnic minority-owned
Communities.
businesses. Yeah.
Yes. So thank you for that question. Yes.
Now, do you need to be a ethnic minority to be on the platform as a business, or can you service the market? Like, for example, our bed and breakfast is on Purple Roofs, which is a LBGT directed site. But what their whole purpose is not to present.
Discrimination or an
Yeah, well,
uncomfortable experience.
It's so people will know that they will have a comfortable experience there, because not necessarily every B&B in the world is
Right.
friendly.
Like that. That's a good question. I think that so that's one of the challenges we've been having. I would say yes, but I would say that yes, you could be on the platform, but I would say that we need to determine what that looks like, because that's one of the problems that we're even
Right.
having. When you say minority, what does that mean? Like in the U.S., like minority can mean LGBT.
Yes.
It could mean underserved. It could mean so even pointing that
Yeah.
verbally. So that's one of the reasons why we had to use local ethnic, the word ethnic, to really target our audience. But I think like there's value in inclusivity, especially with some certain groups that are isolated. So I think yes, but we would have to determine how we can showcase that group without losing our
Right.
or
Back to Vince's question.
yes.
Okay, so, what about, let's say, the medical professional, like a doctor or lawyer, that have an employee that is like, oh, they cater to someone that speaks Russian or Igbo or something, can they also be there? Maybe the company is a huge company with American people, but then they have 1 or 2 people that speak these languages to help those clients in that ethnic group. Can they also join?
So you're talking about the business though. Is the business ethnic business, or
Okay,
they just
so
have
let's
ethnic
say
providers?
a medical professional, a medical office. They want to cater to their Hispanic community too. So they have someone that speaks Hispanic in their office to help with the service that they provide to those ethnic groups. Can that business also be on there because some way somehow they are catering to those ethnic groups? Let's say a Nigerian, an American doctor having a Nigerian nurse or a Nigerian doctor in that facility. Can they also be on that platform because they have a professional who is ethnic and
Yeah.
also will be able to help translate
Yeah.
some languages and stuff?
Yes, that's a good question, actually. So yes, what we were doing in the past was we were registering professionals like doctors. So we have a few dentists that are in Texas that have a dental practice, but they have dental providers under their services. So we did do that. We did register them, which is also great. But I think one of the things that we do is we leverage tags on our platform, so you can tag even if the business itself is not an ethnic business. It's not an ethnic business, but they service and they care for ethnic and the folks that don't speak certain languages, and we can tag them like service provider. So we leverage the tags basically. So yes, but I think that goes to another point. Like folks have been asking, how can we really manage this? Because we'll have to be kind of like gatekeepers, but not really. So like making sure that we don't lose like our core audiences, but still tailor and target the platform for those that really need it. So I think we have a lot of work to do on that end, but the answer is yes.
That was going right into the direction of my question, because this is your side gig, you might lose sleep over this because you still have a full-time gig.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to structuring this business, who are you pulling in to assist? Do you have resources to help mechanize the things like sifting out who can get on the platform, like we're talking about here? What is your current structure?
Okay. Thank you. So I have a co-founder, and she's also a doctor. She's an ethnic doctor. So when I say ethnic doctor, she doesn't practice herbal medicine. She's a doctor, but she's. I feel like I have to say that sometimes. Western. Yeah. So she works at Mercy. Basically, yeah. So I have a co-founder, and I also have a development team based in Nigeria, and I also have two communication support staff based in Nigeria as well. And I also had 2 interns, one from Towson University. So we've had teams that have supported us in building this list of ethnic minority businesses, and also trying to sift it out. Like it really, we did a lot of work in the initial stages, building the list of businesses that are currently on the platform. But through the social innovation lab, I've gotten to meet with mentors like Mr. Graham here, and they've kind of been pointing me, to the direction of easier ways to do this, like leveraging technology, using AI, and basically using CRM tools and tools that can help us really do some of that work. So my goal really is for us to determine, next steps of how we can, enlarge the listings of businesses and really do the work. Because I think we're still figuring out a lot right now, but my goal is that we can do some of that hardcore and difficult work by the end of the year with a small team that we do have, and maybe raise some seed funding to do, continue the work, and maybe I can leave my 9-to-5 job in the future and really focus on this, because I would really love to focus on this platform and really, create visibility for our businesses.
Time for a couple more questions, Jimmy.
Yes.
Yeah, are you a for-profit business? And if you are, what kind of ideas do you have to monetize the business? Actually make some money.
Yes, sir. I am a for-profit business, and we are a for-profit business.
Which slide do you want?
How do we make money? Yep. So we're a for-profit business, and because this is an app, it's an app that allows everybody to come on for free, the users, the businesses. And so how we're gonna make money is ads. So like the question that came up, if we have 6 businesses in one street, for example, and they all sell the same thing, well, somebody wants more visibility than others. So they would pay for ads to get their business at the forefront, so we could push them, to the front, make them the first business that people see when they hit that city and state. And also, we're gonna we have a forum where we'll people will share topics of conversation. I don't know if you guys, some of you guys are on Nextdoor. You're like, my cat is missing today. My dog is, those kinds of apps. When you open them up, you see ads in between. That's kind of the model. So the advertising model, and also we are going to make money from data, because our app will provide a lot of data on these communities. And right now, the U.S. government is trying to leverage a lot of diaspora communities to, invest and facilitate two-way trade between the continent of Africa. I don't know. I don't want to get into politics, but that's what I do 9 to 5. But China has a strong foothold on the continent right now, and the U.S. is trying to combat that by moving away from the aid model. Like, we provide aid for $1 you can feed a child in Africa, kind of thing. They're trying to move away from that model and go to two-way trade and investment. And when we do that, we create jobs on this side and on their side. So in that regard, there's a lot of work going on, and they're trying to leverage diaspora communities. So there's a lot of income that can come from that side, providing data and giving them the resources they need to do some of that work. And also performance insights. Lots of companies pay for information and data and that kind of thing. So we have I think we have about 6 ways we can make money. Partnerships. So like if you partner with an Uber, for example, to deliver food from ethnic restaurants, that kind of thing. We make money on our side, they make money on their side for those kinds of partnerships. So there are several ways we can make money, but right now we're not making any money, and we're spending a lot of money. So the hope is that at least by Q4 or early next year we start to make money.
Gabby, do we have any questions on Facebook?
We do not.
I was going to ask, since you brought it up, are there grant opportunities as a result of what you were just talking about in terms of the politics in Africa and the U.S.? Since for example, you are potentially creating jobs here and supporting businesses here, while also you have a Nigerian development team, you're creating jobs there as well.
Yeah, I've been looking, and I wish I've seen an answer, but I think a lot of grants lean towards the nonprofit. So you either are nonprofit or a profit. But I was speaking to somebody yesterday, and she said leverage the social impact kind of aspect of this product. So I am going to start looking into social impact grants and seeing if there's a way we can get funding that way. But I haven't seen so far. That's why I can't answer.
One last question. Anyone here? Evan Davis?
So you mentioned partnering with other apps. I recently was speaking to someone. They created an app similar to this, but just for more everyone, more like just like a Baltimore local Yelp called the Pledge app. I didn't know if that was anything. I could give you the information. Maybe you can help get the people on your app onto their app to have more minorities on this larger central app. It'd be great for their communities as well. Or maybe there's other ways you guys can collab, make it work. But those 2 similar things that could work together.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I would imagine that. In the early days of Google, their results were refined by accessing data of curated directories. I can't remember the name of the one big one, but back in the day, like late 90s, you were well served from an SEO perspective to get listed in curated directories to then get discoverability by Google and others.
Okay.
And with ChatGPT and other types of discovery platforms now, I would imagine your licensing data model could be pretty valuable if you had an API that they could easily access.
That's a great one. Yeah, I think one of the things that is a disadvantage for me personally is that I'm not a techie. So a lot of this information, I take it and I go back to our team and say, how can we do this? So I'm going to take all these great ideas and we'll go back and do that. But I would love to leverage that. I think Craigslist, Angie's List, a lot of them were the early pioneers of this kind of work. There's a lot of them are still around even today. So there is value in this directory kind of people need information and services. So
are looking for a trusted source.
Trusted.
They want to be able to go somewhere and know that the information they are receiving is honest, and that's been very hard.
You're so right. That's the key word, trusted. Like you can go on any of these platforms, but can you trust?
Yes,
it?
especially with minority businesses.
Yes. I'm sorry. You had a question. Would you mind?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I came in late, so you may have already covered it, but have you applied for the women-owned small business? I have some friends who did that. It's like a 9-month process,
Okay.
but then they got a lot more business after they had that designation. So there's a women-owned small business and a minority-owned small business.
Okay. Yeah, I have not applied for those
It's a
processes
federal
yet.
designation.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know about the women-owned and the minority-owned. I think those are next steps because we're about to finish the social innovation lab, which is an accelerator. It's a 5 or 6 month accelerator. So now that we're finished that, I think the next step is to really get certified in some of these federal organizations. But also, one of the things that affects our community is that Black people, minorities, we are the most underfunded. Like a lot of us, we're going through a lot of these programs and accelerators and getting these stamps of approval, but that's not. It's still not changing our bottom line. And bottom line is giving us the money that we need to really carry on. Like this app, I funded it with my salary for my 9-to-5 job. I don't know if you know about app development. It's a lot of money. So
Does anybody here know that?
Yes, you guys know that. Yeah, I think you all know. So, and I did that because I don't know when my next one is gonna come. I've applied for every day. I apply for grants. I sleep at 12 trying to apply for different grants, and it's exhausting. So I think as a community, we're already underserved in the funding aspect. So we sign up for these programs, and great, we can leverage the support of our community, which is extremely important. But we need that next step, which is funding to get to where we are. So I think the conversation needs to continue on that aspect, and we're going to continue doing the work. I will continue to run Kamoky even if nobody funds me because I care about my community. But I'm tired. I want to use my paycheck to go to the mall.
Well, go back to your last slide with your contact information because I know that we usually end with asking what can we as a community do to help you, which I think you basically told us to please refer any immigrant, minority, ethnic businesses in our area to you. Is there anything else that we can do to help you?
Yes, please. All these resources, I couldn't write them down as you were talking, but I'll try to sign up for those. But I think, like you said, anybody that has any ideas about how we can really partner or leverage other communities, please send them my way, and then we'll explore every option. If you're on social media, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, follow us on everything. Just go ahead and like everything. Whatever your favorite platform is, because even doing that helps us. Because when we go to partners, we can say, okay, we have this many followers, and then we have this many people engaged in our platform. We can leverage that for other types of funding. So just even following us helps, and telling somebody about what we do helps. So I will accept any kind of help. And if you also write checks, we do.
You can make that check out too.
we are a registered business and we have a bank account with CQ, so
we can cash that check.
Yes.
All right, let's give Toyin a round of applause. Thank you. Great presentation, and I think you'll do well. Is it next week is your final presentation to Johns Hopkins?
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck, yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so this means we have time for community updates. So there's a lot of you in the room today. Anybody, well, how about this? Let's take a breather for 2-3 minutes so you all can get some more coffee and Jeannie Bird baked goods. And if you have an update, please come tell me. So let's take 3 minutes, okay? All right, Jimmy, you're one? Okay, all right.
Something like that. I still like stress this on contracts. Hopefully the locals
Catastrophically wrong for you.
Right. The answer is
Community art space doing more like showing
Jimmy,
local art,
you have a
like
website.
It'll be during our show and
What's the space like of that? Since you like host events,
I just go like small events, but
like the people that's in there. Really? Okay. I'm always looking for like events like this that can
I want
Need more people.
And
And then I send gentle reminders. And then it gets to the point where everybody gets gentle reminders to send. We hit over 200,000 views.
Well, this one
So it's just a matter of getting people.
got this. Other side, do you have like any events you thought what they
I've been sharing
in this coming year?
like any
in this coming year, I wanted to
great thing at Wine Festival, so I shared them again.
run short shows.
You want to update this question because I know you've had a lot of changes.
it's kind of working up there.
Summer is short and hot. Right, son? You know, he's 11. He's like, not like this one. So we do need to update your thing and refurbish
That's cool, man.
brand new. Yeah. You never know.
So we'll jump into a couple community updates, and since we have a couple of special guests here today, we have people who just won their recent elections. We have Chris Tillman here, who won Scott and Town, and Chris Miller, who won the mayor.
Congratulations! I remember you.
That's right. We all can say we know Councilman Chris Tillman and Mayor Chris Miller. All right. So let's start with root causology. Laurel, do you want to come on up and give us your update?
Good morning.
Morning.
Laurel Brennan. I don't know everyone in this room, so I apologize for being late and missing the beginning of yours, but if there's time to mingle afterwards, I'd love to chat. So I am founder of Root Causology. So it is a business to help women reduce risk of dementia and optimize brain health by creating therapeutic partnerships and addressing root causes. Both from a functional medicine perspective, which is a root cause medicine. So I see people one-on-one and in groups, but I'm here today to talk about retreats because we have an upcoming retreat. This one, coming out May 21st, we still have some spots available. So This is not just for women only. I'd say that I kind of specialize in women, but this would actually be fantastic to come as a family. So if there is dementia in the family, or there's diabetes or heart disease in the family, because that all impacts brain health, this is going to be a fun day. This is going to be a fun day where we relax, where you get an awesome gift bag of stuff that you can take home and use to optimize your brain health. We have an expert. I'm an occupational therapist, and there's another occupational therapist there as well, who really has an expertise in mindset. He's awesome. So we're going to have healthy food. It's a beautiful space. So if you're interested, come chat with me afterwards. I do have some information about the retreats, including the other two. So if you're busy on May 21st and you'd like a bigger adventure, this is a 4-day retreat in Martinsburg, West Virginia. I'm also a yoga teacher, so getting into that meditative space, getting into the parasympathetic nervous system for any biology people in here, any science people, that takes us into the space where we're healing. So to get into that space as often as possible is beneficial for not just brain health, but whole body. So that's a 4-day yoga and detox retreat. And then the biggest one is in Costa Rica in October for a 8-day. So if you have any interest, again, come and chat with me afterwards. Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions for Laurel? All right. Yes, Crystal.
Do you have an office or someplace where you meet clients on one-on-one?
That's a very good question, and I am applying for the Biz Challenge in hopes of getting a physical space. I've been a virtual business thus far.
If you're interested in a physical space in a really neat little stone building at a really nice bed and breakfast, we should talk.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. All right. James Jones, come on up. Jimmy the Man.
Jimmy the Man.
Just tell me when you want me to play.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is James Darrell Jones, Sr. I'm president of NetPay 2K International Corporation, home of Answer Tax and Business, the credit card store, and JimmyTheMan.com. I am a musician. That's my passion, you know. So I'm a businessman to fuel my life and fuel my passion. And I have a new song, so very exciting. It's called My Favorite Song. And we put it out through a company called Catapult Distribution. Check them out if you want to put some music out worldwide. It's on Spotify, it's on iTunes, it's on every platform out there. And really cool stuff. So do me a favor, give her a listen. And Maestro, if you would, please.
We'll give it a little sample here.
I'll take it forward and sing it again. My favorite friend. Chilling with the guys on a Saturday night. Putting it again until we make it right. When with you I can't go wrong. Dreaming on my favorite song.
All right. Excellent.
Can that be your intro song for every meeting? And then we can like sing it all together.
How do you find the song?
Well, that was on YouTube. We searched Jimmy the Man topic, right? And
Yeah.
we found it on YouTube.
That's correct.
But
Yeah.
it's also on Spotify.
It's on
you said?
Spotify, iTunes, all of them. Just search Jimmy the Man. Yeah, please.
Any other community updates here from the group? And then I just have a couple quick updates. I should have pulled them up ahead of time, but we have the Celebrate Entrepreneurship event that Startup Portal is putting together along with Adventure Studios, all those guys, Larry Wilner. May 23rd at the Best Western Conference Center. It's all about celebrating entrepreneurship. I think it's $35 and it's 4 to 7, something like that. Team's a sponsor, and I'm speaking about my book, and I know Aaron Davis from Switchbridge is also another keynote speaker, and there's going to be different like breakout sessions and kind of learning sessions and stuff. So anyway, so great opportunity for entrepreneurs to get together here in Carroll County. And then Magic is hosting our next Good Game on Main event on Friday, May 26th. Gabby, is that right?
Yeah.
Yes. So if you don't know what that is, that's when we open up this office here. We have multiple screens. We have 2 screens here, one behind this wall, one in the back room. So we have 3 total. We have our Nintendo Switches hooked up, and we invite families in, from the community. We were actually just featured in the Westminster City newsletter that went out to about 40,000 residents, so we're a little worried about capacity this time around. So hopefully we'll be victims of our own success, and we'll have to expand this to other locations as well on Main Street. So no other updates? Oh, yes, Judy.
ShareHerArt.com. So the world is better with you in it. So I'm Judy Beers, that's the message. I'll be quick because it's over. But one of the things I do a lot that does not go on Facebook or social media is memorial art. So if you ever have a loss, I make bookmarks, buttons, cards, all that. And eventually I want to do it as a therapist. So I work 2 days a week as a therapist. So I moved my 10 o'clock client to 11, so I'm here. And I haven't updated my huge book in a while, so I'm kind of like, this is it. The Ultimate Guide to Hope and Healing in a Crap-Filled World, Crap Happens Philosophy. And I have previews now for the children's series. So if you click on this one.
Right here?
And I'm excited. I have my first one edited. That is, I ordered the proof yesterday. So, once that's approved by the editor, it'll go live as well. So if you scroll down, so I'm not just the Crap Happens Philosophy girl. Now I have all these kids' books and younger books and things like that. So it comes from pages in here. So the idea is you can turn anything into fertilizer. The worst thing that happened to you, you can heal from it, grow something beautiful. I have pages on it. People that know someone that has dementia, they now heal people, prevent dementia. Somebody that dealt with bullying now is kindness. So there's all these stories, but it's possible. So thank you.
You want to send us out?
We are 1 Million Cups Westminster. It's so great to see everybody here. Thank you to our speaker. Sometimes we have 1 speaker, sometimes we have 2. Next time it could be you. Go to 1millioncups.com/Westminster. Click Apply to Present. We help plug you into people who are like-minded and trying to lift the seas, so to speak, so that everybody has a chance at their entrepreneurship, at their dream, at trying to figure out how to get out from the 9 to 5 and make the whole revenue thing work for them so they can have fun in life. So that's what 1 Million Cups is about here in Westminster. Thank you to Jeannie Bird for the sweet treats, American Ice Cafe for the go-go juice, Magic for the location, Startup Porter for our alternate, and everybody here and online. We appreciate you. Have a great week.